critically panned, absolutely disgraceful. There was talk about a TV show.
Well, can you imagine the budget they would have allocated to that and who they would have given it to? Who cares? It's going to sell anyway.
Doesn't matter. All the babbies are going to
as long as it exists technically as a video game.
There was Axel F.
It just has to meet the
bare minimum.
So you don't get sued.
Yeah. Press start to begin. Okay, yeah. It's a
game
video
over.
game. You go left and right. Game over. The end.
Can
you win?
More world than The Simpsons.
Exactly. Pretty much. Activate your lungs. Like, it was absolute. Listen, you couldn't get away with me. I'll never forget being on, like, Dublin bus, going to work, and there was always some cunt had the fucking run, or the fucking whatever the gobbledygook that the fucking prick was making, the noises. They remixed this song into death and back again.
I think they did it, Eric Clapton Tears in Heaven. No, they didn't. But it wouldn't fucking surprise me.
They done heavy metal versions of it. They done. Again, we have to move on because I feel a pain in my left bollock, right, where the cancer might be starting. just from talking about this stuff. But that fucking Crazy Frog thing, I feel bad even giving it any airtime. Because I do personally believe if we weren't talking about it now, in 6 months it could be forgotten about forever.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Given it a bit of life.
We might have just actually blew the tiniest bit of fucking
I wonder if anyone still listen to this podcast right now. I don't mean in general, it's been this episode. Because I'm fuming.
But yeah, well I want to...
Do you know what? It's almost like that Dancing Baby from Ally McBeal screensaver thing, except that at least stayed quiet and went away.
The Dancing Baby screensaver. And the Matrix screensaver with the code. Everybody thought they were cool. Everyone thought they were cool with the Matrix screensaver. Do you remember? There's that green glow. You could download it off matrix.com.
Do you know what I had a screensaver for a while? Do you remember? The Guinness ad. I got a floppy disk with that on it. I used it as a screensaver.
Yeah.
That was a great ad though.
Do you remember floppy disks? Do you remember screensavers on floppy disks?
That's what I had it
on. Installing
a fucking screensaver, yeah.
Anyway, let's not talk about the Crazy Frog or floppy disks anymore. What's your next one?
Moving on up, I'm moving on out. Time to break free. Somebody stabbed me in the face. People, moving on up. You know what?
Stop it.
Like, that is another one of those Simply Red type of... You know who else nearly made it onto this fucking playlist? And there's a gang of these fuckers. Lighthouse Family. Fucking... I was going to say China Black, but I actually like that song. A little bit. But they're in the same vein. England was coming out with the most poisonous stuff.
There was absolute filth.
It's like people go on about stuff that Germany and Japan has done. But England's already got a bad record. A bad track record in politics and colonialism. Well, fucking whatever.
Put that plastic bag in your head.
Is it called that? Colonialism?
I believe it's called colonialism.
I fucking know. I don't know. I'm not a clever man. I've got hate in my soul I want to talk about.
Again,
she has a technically good voice, but I hate it.
It's incredibly strong.
It's incredibly powerful voice. Yeah. And she's a talented singer.
Wasted on that group.
But I don't like her voice. It's very bellowy and echoey. It sounds like...
But it could be used. You know what I mean?
Could have been,
There's songs that is designed for that type of sound that comes out of people.
But it's also quite nasally and in the distance. And it sounds like there's a great singer in the distance down a tunnel singing.
For me, groups like that sound like they found her and she had a great voice, but they wanted just 10 out of 10 full force all the time. Like loudness wars of fucking vocals. Like there could be no...
And her voice was mixed so high in the mix of the track.
But there could be no little subtleties. We can't show off her range. There just has to be this full loudness upon the speakers to the point where it hurts. Out of all the bands of that era, not all of them, one of the ones I actually had time for were the Stereo MCs.
I wouldn't put them in the same bracket at all.
But I'm talking about the same era of
absolutely,
music.
Yeah. You know what? There was a lot more.
They had like a junkie bloke kind of rapping, singing.
Yeah.
Like he full on looked like a junkie.
How is he not?
He has to be dead.
Has to be a junkie though.
He does.
Stereo MCs. Step it up. It's all right. No, I'm thinking of him. I'm thinking of
same show.
Happy Monday. Step it up.
Same. No.
Step on. Step up.
No, you're right. It's all right. He had this real laid back tone, but yeah, you're dead right about the other one.
I want to move on quickly from M People because there's not really much more to say. It's music.
Even the name of it. What's that mean? M People.
I've absolutely no idea. Like, it's a perfect name for that band. There's no talking into it.
Like even Yazoo had a milk. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like fucking M People. What is it?
Do you know what? Just before I move on, this is a weird thing that annoyed me about this band. Just when I thought I couldn't be any more annoyed, I remember some Top of the Pops came on. It was on, and the drummer is called Shovel.
Fuck off. That's a cool metal name.
Yeah.
Like if you were in a metal band and your drummer's called Shovel. Like what? Listen, we don't.
He's a cool looking fucker. He's probably an unreal drummer. All these people are probably unreal musicians.
You can't hear any of that in any of the songs.
It might as well be a sample.
It's just normal 4/4
90s shitty fucking
poppy snare shot. Yeah.
And that aged very badly. That kind of style.
It has no longevity whatsoever. That style.
No. And actually, do you know what I'll say about that kind of drumming style? I think maybe not that drumming style in particular, but do you know, people are shocked to hear this. I don't particularly think that Dangerous by Michael Jackson aged very well because I had that sampley kind of fucking 90s drum shit. And
listen, popularity's a motherfucker, you know what I mean? Like,
you got to be careful what trends you jump on. We talked about this with the Keeping Up with the Kids. You got to be careful what trends you jump on because it can really
bite you in the hole later.
You'll have to delete that. It won't last.
Yeah, that's why there's so many bands released like remastered and re-edited versions of albums where they just replaced.
They took bits out of it.
Yeah,
like we talked about it in the last podcast with the 80s, 90s, like the crash, boom, that stuff didn't last in songs. It actually becomes really annoying, like a fly buzzing around you.
Yep.
It sounded cool and breakbeaty at the time, and probably like whatever.
Like it was experimental at the time, but now it didn't. It's very much locked into an era.
That's why 80s guitar bands like. I wouldn't even say the shoegaze stuff is timeless. They didn't fuck around too much with a very simple formula.
But it was also so new that it's still being used to this day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still huge.
Yeah.
That band that were here in this pub today is quite shoegazing, and it is kind of timeless. If technology is a huge part of it. If you bring in stuff that's technology,
you're trying to surf the crest of new technology. Like you're caught in like V1.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I studied sound engineering and music technology, and I would have been one of the first years to dabble in digital recording. Like when I started studying sound engineering, it was tape, and we had to learn how to splice tape. And still to this day, you'll get like the big bands they will still use digital, but a lot of them want to go back and use analog equipment. But I remember one of the first things, there was a system called Radar. And it was just this big brick, this big computery brick with like a green screen. And that's what bands were recording on. Like there was no Cubase or Logic or anything like that. And they were using these fucking machines. But everything had this particular sound that came out of it. And you can tell the bands that use that first wave of digital recording. You can tell, you can hear it.
And it doesn't have any life in it.
No, it's completely flat.
It's really void of feeling and stuff like that. And it sits
super flat.
It sits harshly in the mix of songs. Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. And I know Michael Jackson fans don't agree with this, but I think Dangerous aged badly because of that shitty drums. Because he was always, everything about Michael Jackson's music, I would say, I'm glad we moved away from M People, but we do need to move on up and on out and go to your next song.
My next one will probably get us some hate mail.
I was surprised at this, but the more I thought about it, I see where you're coming from.
This is just a bad song. It's the Payback,
super highly rated.
This is a huge song right here. The Payback by James Brown.
It's you know what? When a while ago, just before you went into this, I went back to listen to loads of classic funk albums because I was at the time I just got mad back into Funkadelic and stuff like that. And you know, you go through a list like, okay, what else in Spotify suggests? And the Payback album came up.
Yeah.
And this song, when you first hear the first bit of the song, you're thinking, oh, I'm in for a
can't wait.
It's also about 7 minutes long.
It's 7.5 minutes long. Yeah. It goes nowhere.
It goes absolutely nowhere.
You spend the entire song waiting for it to happen.
It's a 7-minute long intro.
Yeah.
That never does anything.
This entire album was supposed to be the soundtrack for a blaxploitation movie called Hell Up in Harlem. And the producer heard it and said, that's garbage. He said, literally, that's the same old shite.
Yeah.
Like, we wanted a soundtrack that we could sell.
And, it got refused.
It got refused by the filmmaker. Yeah, now,
it is
this is where it gets funny. because he released it as an album by itself, and it was fucking huge.
It's massive.
Massive album.
I think you'd have to be stoned to fuck to listen to that. Because it's so repetitive. That song is so repetitive. And he's coming out with absolute garbage
it's a
lyrics.
Scutter for 7.5 minutes.
Got the ting and the ting.
Yeah.
And you've got
Are you
the
ready?
ting.
Let's
Are you ready?
do it. Okay.
He says, are you ready about 5 minutes into
and
it?
I'm mad ready.
I was ready after the first few seconds.
For real. Like 40 seconds, I'm mad ready.
Do you know what it sounds
Hit
like?
me with it.
It sounds like someone's trolling me. Listen to that song. Big
Pretty
troll.
much. You know them fucking... We talked about this before. You know, every now and again you click on a video on Facebook and say, you won't believe what happens at the end. And you watch it for like 20 minutes.
Holy shit, that's your first clickbait.
Exactly.
You're dead right.
Yeah. And nothing happens. Yeah. It's just someone's looped something.
Or did you ever see those videos on YouTube where someone gets angry with an interviewer, but you'll watch the interview and you're like, where was the part they got angry? I was remember in the middle they went, that's not true. That was I just got clickbait.
This album, this is fucking mad. It's 1973. This was James Brown's 37th studio album.
That day.
That week, yeah. But the producers literally listened to it and said, that's the same old shy. We don't want that.
You know what? I'd say he found that in for a soundtrack.
It sounds like it. I'm going to tell you right away, I'm not the biggest James Brown fan in the world. I appreciate him.
I like a few bits and
believe
bobs.
he's important. There's some songs there that are fucking outrageous. It's a sampler's paradise. A sampler's
it is.
paradise.
It is. He's on everything.
Exactly.
Because just even the little, because there's so many loops where he's not singing.
Yes.
That you just lift.
And you can go. We talked about this before. There's certain songs out there, especially in the funk world and the soul world, that you can make 40 hip hop songs out of one song. You know, you find the right part and you clean it up and you loop it. This is not one. This goes nowhere. And when I was thinking about, we talked about doing the Abominations playlist, this wouldn't have been my most obvious get, but it popped up in my most recently played thing on Spotify because for some reason I put it on recently. I think I was going to DJ and I was looking for a couple 6-7 minute long
and it always comes up. It always comes up as one of his biggest songs.
So I think it's top 6, top 7. Yeah.
What I got, can't get to give. I give you something.
It's literally
don't give it back.
Exactly.
What are you saying?
Yeah. And
even your lyrics.
But what a cool name for the song, The Payback. You're waiting for it.
thought, and there's no payoff.
Yeah, you're waiting for this is the equalizer, this song. You know what I mean? You're waiting on him to go absolute balls deep now and talking about fucking killing cunts and this is going to be unreal. But it's just, it sounds like the band warming up.
It sounds like a mic check.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's just a little sound check in a fucking in the live room in the studio, and they're like, "Okay, what are we gonna do? Just do some fucking."
Or did you ever download a vocal sample pack to put on your songs?
Yeah,
and it's all like this. Hip, I got did.
You want to dance now? Exactly. Yeah, nonsense.
Thrown on
EJ fucking
but what
on the PlayStation.
If this song was 2 minutes long, I'd go Grant and I'd move on to the next one. 7.5 minutes long for an intro.
Painful.
Doesn't go anywhere.
It goes nowhere. Hit me with your next one.
UB40 are back on the podcast. Red wine. Die.
So
Drink
bad.
red. Jack Russell blood.
Jack Russell blood. Red Jack Russell. I can't. I just can't.
It's reggae cover of a not particularly amazing song anyway. Don't like the song. But I especially don't like how far they've pushed it.
This sums up the worst parts of the 80s for me.
Sums up the worst part of humanity for me, really.
I
know there's been wars and seriously, I know I compare stuff to
terrible things have happened.
Atrocities.
But have any of them been as bad as red wine?
But this is the thing about the atrocities.
Come and go.
No, but atrocities are...
You'll be 40. Stay.
Stay. They're the cockroaches of the...
oh my God.
They're the nuclear cockroaches. Here's the thing about atrocities, right? People remember atrocities not fondly. Like, they remember them as bad atrocities.
Here, they make films about atrocities,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I can't remember the last time I saw a fucking UB40 movie starring Jason Statham.
But this is the thing, people enjoy this.
Yeah.
Nobody enjoys the atrocity.
What? I put my balls on the line that there are massive UB40 fans out there, and this is their number one song.
Those people are not into music.
They are not.
They're not into anything. They're the kind of people that you know those people that they're like aliens that came down and they had to assimilate quickly, fast, find something that's I like that.
Put that skin suit on.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good piece of song music.
That's a terrible song.
Hello, fellow humans. this UB40 song is a good thing that has happened in the world.
Let us have a dance to UB40.
Yeah, and I have learned to dance, and it is a reggae shuffle. And reggae shuffle.
But it's not even... Listen,
.exe, they downloaded it just to fucking... Oh, God.